Hello friends, this is an incident from one of the earlier days of my professional career when I was possibly having barely 3 4 years of experience and I was quite young at that time. So I was working with an organization in Jamshedpur, and there we had to make presentations regarding the performance or the results that we have achieved. It used to happen during our annual performance review, performance appraisals. Okay. So, on one of such occasions, it has so happened that we had, of course, different colleagues were there, and one of our colleagues was really good at what he used to do. I mean, he was in more into technical part of research and development, and he was doing a marvelous job. He was really outstanding as a person, as a technical, I mean, knowledge-wise, basically. So we all had to make presentations, and of course, end of the year, the results shown by that person I'm talking about was excellent, right? So everybody expected that he's going to get a promotion. Everybody, all of us expected. And then he made a presentation, so did other people, so did another person also, who was not so good. I mean, whose performance numbers were not so good, but then somehow he managed to possibly, cover them up with beautiful slides and the way he spoke and all, but it looked decent. Fair enough. Whereas this first person, he showed the numbers, he showed excellent numbers. But then, what we could gather from the superiors, from the bosses, from the people who were actually looking into their presentation and assessing them, is they were not getting impressed. And even though the numbers were outstanding, they were not getting impressed. I mean, I was wondering, of course, I was very young that time, so I was still wondering what's wrong. And I could make out from their faces that they are not quite happy. And then, after the results came out, basically, after the assessments were over and the final days for increments and promotion scheme, of course, both of them got good increments, but then the second person who was never expected to get a promotion, he was promoted, and not the first one who was outstanding as far as his technical knowledge and his, success, figure-wise, number-wise success is concerned, contribution is concerned. Long after that, and I stayed with that company for quite some time, though, I had a chance to discuss this matter with one of my superiors long after, maybe 2 3 years later on down the line, I don't remember exactly. So, while chatting casually, I mean, I raised this question. I mean, remember this thing, what has happened? And I'm still wondering why. Because you were one of the people who were actually seeing the presentations, being in a senior position. But why did it happen? I mean, all of us expected the first person to get a promotion. Sorry. Then he said that, Prabal, what we all realized, what we all saw is something is missing. What is that something? Now, when you recommend somebody for a promotion, that means he or she is capable of taking a higher responsibility. He has got that capability to take a higher responsibility. It's not just a question of rewarding him or her because of what he has done in the past. Promotion means he is ready to take additional charges, right? And we found that was lacking in the first person. He may be outstanding in whatever he was doing, but then ultimately when he moves up the ladder, in the corporate ladder, he has to manage a larger team. He has to act as a leader. And he has to show them the way instead of doing things with his own hands, which he is good at. Ultimately, he has to get the things done. It's more of a man management rather than technical management. That is where we found him lacking. And the other person, despite not being so outstanding in his numbers, he was decent. But then we found that inherent technical capability, or rather leadership capability, was there inside. And time has proved, we have also seen that time has proved he is such a good leader. He has evolved to be such a good leader. So that came out to us, not through what they said or what they presented on the slides, not through the words that they spoke, but through the way that they spoke, through the way that they presented, through the way that they contacted made eye contacts with us, made hand gestures, and showed the confidence, the way he stood, the way he walked on the podium while making the presentation. Everything emanated his displayed his leadership capability inside. So that is what made all the difference, and we chose the leader. We didn't choose the outstanding person academically. So this is what I want to communicate to you and share with you, that this is where non-verbal communication holds an extremely important position, much more than the verbal communication. What you speak is not as important as how you speak it. That's called body language. This is what we are going to travel through. And if you feel that you have faced similar kind of a position, or maybe you think that you might not be feeling so much of confidence while facing the superiors or while facing any kind of unforeseen or given situation. So here I am, I can help you out in building up your confidence, in building up your speaking capabilities, in building up your presentation skills, in building up your negotiation skills, so that you can move from maybe here to here in your corporate journey. Watch out for my future videos, and please like, share and subscribe to my channel, from rejection to recruitment and beyond. Thank you.